I think number one is be on the social network and social platforms that are appropriate for your age. So don't worry as a parent if you're setting up different rules for different children in your family. This isn't about, let's make sure everything's even Steven and it's got to be totally fair. It needs to be safe. So if you've got an 8-year-old who wants to jump into social, don't start them out on Facebook, whereas maybe your 14-year-old is ready for that Facebook profile. So be age appropriate. I think a second key rule is know your privacy settings. These change often. It can be a struggle. It's a struggle for me as a Facebook user, for example, because the privacy policy feels like it changes every day. But you really have a lot of options and tools as a parent that you might not be aware of. So when you're helping your kids get into social networking and when you're also social networking as a parent, look into what all the setting options are. Really know how you can keep your family safe while still keeping them connected. I think those are the two main guidelines. The stats really say that there are millions of children under the age of 13, and it puts Facebook in a tough position, first of all, because their terms of service say you shouldn't be there. So it really comes down to the parents, and it's okay. And here again, just like leaning on your digital family policy to say, look, it's not me, we set this up as a family, we're not attacking you, we're just enforcing our rules here. You can put that on Facebook and say, it's not me, it's them. They're saying 13, and they have those rules for a reason. There are legislation, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. There are specific guidelines and rules in place that are to protect you, and you can wait. It's okay. You don't have to be on Facebook now. And I think it's important to let kids know this isn't just an arbitrary thing. You're not just saying, well, I'm the mean mom and I don't want you on Facebook. There are actual guidelines for why you shouldn't be there. And that really is, across the board. With starting a blog, with checking out different apps and platforms, there are guidelines in place because experts have taken the time to put them in place. And it's okay as a parent to say, listen, we're going to follow these rules. Every parent is going to have different rules for their children. So just as I don't let my 6-year-old watch a PG movie or my 8-year-old watch a PG-13, she's going to have friends who are allowed to do those things. And it's not good or bad, it's different. And we let them know those kids aren't bad, their parents aren't bad, they've just made a different decision. And in our family, this is the decision that we've made. And that can relate to so many things. I think that kids really, they've got a basis to understand that. But you want to be where they are. You want to know what they're up to. There are monitoring tools. There's software that you can put on your devices, and that can monitor and it can also block. You can actually use that to sort of proactively protect your children. But it's not about connecting with them on their social media platform and then writing on their wall every day. You don't want to, put smoochies from mom on their Facebook wall, but you still might want to be their friend to see what's going on. So it's knowing what they're doing, keeping an eye on what they're doing, teaching them safety and teaching them some guidelines, and then letting them have a bit of freedom. Well, there are steps that they can take. So, cyberbullying, it can look so many different things. It can start, just like you mentioned, talking about pictures that they've posted and just making some comments and then maybe some negative comments, or it can actually become a pervasive issue and actually a legal issue. So it's important, again, to empower our kids to know this is happening, and I'm sure most kids who are online, they are aware that it exists, and then letting them know the proper steps. So the first step that they can take is to just tell the person, stop. I don't appreciate your comments and you have no right to say this to me. And then the next is to actually block that person. So you can take steps on different platforms and different tools to actually keep that person from contacting you. Definitely make sure your kids know that they should come to you and that they shouldn't erase anything. That's so critical, that they aren't afraid and trying to hide that that's going on. They should keep all of that there so that you can see it. And then the last step really is to reach out to the proper authorities if it comes to that, and letting your kids know that that's okay. It's important that you follow the right processes when it comes to an issue like cyberbullying. And it's not that they're doing anything wrong and letting you know. It's really a safety issue. And anything online can so quickly escalate, and kids really need to know that once you put something online, it can go anywhere. It's not like you're at the bus stop and you tell somebody you really hate the way they look. I mean, that isn't nice, but it's isolated and it happens right there. If you post that online, it can be copied and pasted and sent and resent, and it's just a very different situation, and it's important to let kids know that that's the case.